Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is an exciting video because I'm going to show you how I did this DIY Skyline wall art. This is my first wall art. It looks maybe a little difficult, but it's very easy, and I'll show you how exactly I did this or made this. Okay, let's get into the video. First of all, we bought 7 feet plywood. I think it's a 1/2 inch from Home Depot. We wanted to cover the most of the wall. That's why we took a wider plywood for this project. You can obviously buy or select any feet of plywood. I think the smaller the better if you're nervous about covering a huge area. Anyway, so we bought the plywood, sanded it down a little bit, and then I painted it with a base coat of white. We wanted it to be really opaque, so I think it took like 2 coats for the white to look pretty white and pretty opaque, the way we wanted it to be. So here we chose black and white, but you can definitely play around here a little bit and maybe pick another color if you want. That should look good as well. You could get a paint mixing stick and a bowl. The stick is very useful and you would definitely need that because as soon as you open the can, you might want to mix it up before you use the paint. And the bowl is not completely necessary if you can directly take the paint onto your brush directly from the can. But if you are a little bit nervous holding the paint can directly in your hand and working with it, I would totally recommend getting a paint ball. So to get the image onto the board, we used a projector. We already had one. You can definitely eyeball it and do like a freehand style on the board, but we wanted it to be perfect and we are a little extra at crafts and projects like this. Anyway, so we used a projector and I connected it to my phone and I pulled up a Google image of the skyline. The phone image did not cover the whole board, so I divided it into 2 sections and zoomed out each of the section to the aspect ratio that I was looking for. So depending on the size of your board, you'll have to play around with this a little. The aspect ratio will be different, so I would suggest dividing the picture into sections and then zooming in or out. As you can see here, I'm already done tracing my first section, and now I'm trying to align the aspect ratio of my second section, trying to match it with the parts that I've already traced. So this is the center tower that I'm using as a marker, and I'm zooming in and out to adjust and make all the buildings to be in the same aspect ratio. I'm zooming in and out using my iPhone screen. First, I started doing it with the painter's tape, but as I was doing it, it felt like it was taking a long time, and then I moved to using a ruler and a pencil. But let me tell you, when it comes to painting after all of this, I think painting over the painter's tape would have been much easier and much quicker. I should have continued to use the painter's tape. So I would suggest use the painter's tape as much as you can and use pencil and ruler for all the nooks and corners where you cannot or you're unable to use the tape. Here I'm done tracing the whole image on the board. There's some extra space on the right end of the board because the image couldn't cover the whole board. I'll just cut that part out using a circular saw. I will paint with a big square brush for the center parts And for the corners, I'll use a square brush, which is much smaller. Painting the big large spaces of the buildings is pretty easy. I used a big square brush. But when it comes to the corners, using this small brush, it takes a lot of time and you need to be a little careful so that you don't paint out of the traced line. Even if you do that, you can take some white paint and try to cover it up, but then that takes a little more time. That's why I said it's easier to paint when there's like a painter's tape. This area where I used a tape came out a little wonky, so I'm going to make some adjustments with the white paint. I'll be using the same square brush for this. So after painting 2 coats, I'm going to apply the top coat. I'm using a matte version. You can also use a glossy finish. After the top coat, then it is all done and ready to be mounted on the wall. We use the cleats mechanism for mounting up on our wall. There's one cleat behind the board and one on the wall. I hope you liked this video. I hope it gave you some inspiration to try do-it-yourself home decor wall art. If you like skylines, definitely follow this method and let me know how it works out for you. And please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more DIY, beauty, and skincare videos. And I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye!